Namaskaram, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the podcast named Transcend with Subham. And today we are going to discuss about some laws. Are you ready to get to know some laws and go to be a lawyer? So today we are going to know about some different kinds of laws, and we are today going to discuss about your laws, that what your law should be and how you should decide about what your personal law should entail. We are also going to discuss about what Purusharth is, or what are the objectives of this life when you come as a human being. What does Sanatan Dharma discuss? We will also understand what Sanatan Dharma is, and we need to get some terms clear about sages, seers, rishi, munis, sadhu, sants. They are used interchangeably when they have different distinctions. Like there is a difference between president and a prime minister. Okay, you can't use them interchangeably. So someone who is a rishi or muni, you can't use them interchangeably. Although one who is a rishi can also be a muni, means, but there are two different qualifications altogether. We will come to that, so that when I discuss certain things in the future podcast, you know about the terms precisely as possible. Okay, but since today we are going to learn about laws, okay, so we are going to invoke a certain deity or a god. Okay. Now, those who don't know about deities and what is an invocation, please watch my previous episodes or podcasts. You will get a comprehensive understanding. I have discussed it. But for those who are new to this podcast, a invocation is just a realignment of the energy body so as to do a particular task. But since we are going to talk about laws today, law means dharma. Okay, dharma doesn't mean religion as such. So dharma means a certain law. Okay, so since we are going to talk about laws, and since you know that I specialize in knowing yourself with deities, with gods, because they are my BFFs, so I am going to invoke a certain one who is most cherished, I would say, most popular, most marketed in the context of Hinduism, as to say, is the most cherished god. Many people would have understood because it comes under his purview. The laws, the dharma aspect comes under his purview because it's his job or nature to uphold the law, or to, I would say, realign the law, the societal law in relation to the cosmic law. When the societal law deviates much against what the cosmic law is, so but through his actions and through his works, his job is basically to realign the societal laws in relation to the cosmic laws. So many of you may have understood, but those who have not understood, it's I'm basically talking about one of my BFFs. Krishna or Sri Hari or Narayan or Vishnu, they are basically the same, but the names have different meanings altogether and they represent a different characteristic of him. So we are going to invoke his energies because it's his perception through which you may understand what dharma is. Okay. And at the end of today's by the end of today's podcast, I think you will have the clarity enough that you will not again, you know, term dharma as a religion. It is not. Okay. No matter who says it. I know people, there are some certain people who will say, no, this is in the scriptures, and no. Through much sheer conviction and audacity, I'm saying dharma is not religion. Get your things clear, get your facts clear, no matter who says it. I'm saying whoever says it. Okay. And don't judge a book by its cover. Okay. If they are wrong somewhere, they are wrong. With it's not something that I am arrogant enough to say this. It's not about arrogance. It's like, if certain things about life, if someone comes, even if a child comes, I listen to them very gracefully and very enthusiastically. If a child has to say certain on some things which I don't know, but there are certain things which I don't know, I will take it. but which I know, not believe, which I know, even if God comes and tells me it is not so, I will discard him unless and until you know, comes he comes into acceptance of what I am saying. That is the clarity that, you know, spirituality, mysticism gives you. So with that clarity, I'm saying dharma is not religion. Dharma means a law. Okay. So we are invoking the energies of Krishna, Vishnu, Narayan, Srihari, who you call, but I will also explain what their names mean. Okay. So just be with me and focus your energies in the third eye, the Agna chakra, we call it, or the heart chakra, we call it the Hridaya chakra or the Anahata chakra, which is just below the sternum where the rib cage meets. You may close your eyes or you may not close your eyes, but focus the attention there, and I'm going to chant the invocation. Okay. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalaнаянam Yogi Virdhanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayharanam Sarvaloke Kanatham. So we have invoked the energies of Sri Hari. Now let's come to this basic conclusion or basic clarification that dharma means a law. Now, what are laws? Laws are basically a rule that you choose to abide by so that the transactions that you have with others happened with the least fictitious possible way. Okay. So rules are basically those path or those set of actions that you do so as to get the least amount of friction while you're transacting with the other. Now, the other may be your body, your mind, your emotions, your energies, the outside world, with something, with food, with water, with air, with your spouse, with your partner, with your friends, with the society as a whole, with the planet, with the universe. So let's clear this basic concept that what is a rule, what is a law. Okay. Now, if you see the universe, this universe also applies the same thing. So that everything happens with the least amount of friction. The universe, each and everything in the universe abides by a specific course of action, a specific path that it has chosen, so as to be with the least amount of friction and most harmonious. Same with the society, because in the society also people have their own needs and wants. People have their own set of rights and wrongs and ideologies and perceptions about the world, their set of desires. Now you have different set of desires which are different to others, but if you want to stay harmonious in the society, you have to agree to a middle ground which is a win-win situation, so that everyone will win and everyone's needs will be taken care of, everyone's viewpoints will be accepted. So we make out a rule and we accept it, and that becomes the law in the society, dharma. Okay. Now the societal laws are intended so that the society can function with the least amount of friction. Similarly, there are laws and there are dharmas at each and every step. Like the electron, proton, neutron, and the atom in that follows a specific law, a specific course of action, a specific pattern, so that it can do its work. Similar, this the cells in your body has a different dharma, your tissues have a specific dharma, your body has a specific dharma. Okay, your mind has a specific dharma. Everything has dharma. Everything is running by the laws. Even the cosmos has its dharma, which are known as cosmic laws. Okay. So, in the last podcast, we talked about mystics. Okay. Now, I told that mysticism is the science of knowing everything. Okay. So, the mystics are basically explorers. They explore on different aspects of the universe. So, what happened? The mystics, I would say Indian mystics only, and don't consider India to be, like the geographical border that today India was, but it was very much big before everything happened, the invasions and all those things came out. So the basically the ethos of Indian culture is spirituality and mysticism. It is rooted into the culture. That's why you can't find a head that which is the head, or from where it's coming. It seems to like all over the place, but it's not, because the ethos of Indian culture is spirituality and mysticism. It is the mystics, you know not someone from a religious head. It is the mystics which crafted each and everything that the Indian culture has, whether it's a ritual or how to celebrate your festivals or what you should do or you should not do. Those societal customs and traditions that today you may abide by or you may not abide by. You may question your elders, and your elders have no idea about why they are doing that. Those, it's known as achara vichara. Achara means conduct, vichara means thinking, like how you should conduct your life on a daily basis, so that in the last stage of life you realize the ultimate truth. Means you finish the game of life with full marks. You pass, not full marks, I will say you pass the game of life. But in those times, people, the mystics, the people were not so much competent enough like you are now to question everything. Those people are like, they are like, okay, just tell us, we will follow that. We don't want to get into the mechanics and science of with it. And the mystics didn't want to waste their time in telling, this is it, this is it. Now come on guys, this in this day and age, there is the boon of technology we have. There's automations, there are machines. In those times, you just think, okay, so we didn't have this technology and everything, so we thought that okay, it would be very hard to make them understand, to give them certain analogies. Like now I can say this thing is like a video game, and you know what a video game is, you have experienced it, so I can give you analogies. But think about those days back, which I can say that it is a video game, but people have not experienced a video game. So how will you make it and make them understand? So to just, they had belief systems in that time, and they believed in the mystics. So the mystics say that if you do certain things, if you like include this atomic habits into your life, into your daily routine, in one aspect, in one stage of life, there is a higher possibility that you will know who you are. You will realize who you are, because spirituality means what? Knowing yourself. That is spirituality. So but since they were not competent enough, not qualified enough to know, and they didn't have the time to know, because they had to farm, they have to fetch water, they have to take care of the livestock, they have to take care of the children, so many things are there. Where is the time to know yourself? So the mystic said, okay, you don't need to go in certain pursuits, because the society was not conducive enough. So l- like included certain practices into your daily life, which is known as achara vichara, from the morning to going to sleep. If you do those atomic habits, make it a part of your lifestyle, there's a higher chances of you that you will know who you are in at certain stage of life. Okay, so we'll come to that. So it's the mystics who crafted all the tiny intricate things in the Indian culture, not spiritualists. Because spiritualists don't know only, because spirituality is just a small thing in the mysticism part. Okay. So the entire culture that has been crafted was by the Indian mystics, not by the spiritualists. So this is the distinction that you must know. Now the second thing is the mystics. Now we are talking about the mystics. So the mystics did research and identified that there are certain laws. Since this body, we are just an extension on an outcrop of this universe. Yes or no? We are just a part of the universe and we are an extension of the universe. So whatever happens to the universe also affects us. Yes. Whatever happens to the planet affects us. Whatever happens to the solar system affects the planet. So like this, whatever happens to the universe affects us, because we are in just an outcrop of the universe. We have to come to terms with this. Okay. Now they have understood that since whatever happens in the universe also affects us, so they have identified there are certain laws, cosmic laws, that the universe abides by. And since whatever universe abides by to make it more harmonious, and we are an extension of the universe, so if also we can abide by those laws, then we can make the most out of this life. And if we go against those laws, cosmic laws, universal laws, the the life that we have will be the most piteous life. Means the universe will crush us. It's like you are a surfer. You may, if you know the laws of tsunami, you can ride it. If you don't know it clearly, the tsunami will crush you. The same waves will crush you. It's not the problem of the waves. It's just, are you competent enough to ride it, or incompetent enough to get crushed by it? Similarly, the cosmic laws, this mystics identified it and journaled it, like you journal, no, in the research paper. They journaled it, they compiled it, and those compilations came to be the foundation stones of Sanatan Dharma. And those eternal laws, those laws, cosmic laws, because they are eternal, because even if the planet perishes, gets destroyed, is the cosmic law. It's always there and it will be there. So those laws are eternal. Okay. This societal laws that you're living it may change, may get amended, but those laws, cosmic laws, they are not going to change. Like the law of gravity, it's not going to change. So those, since they are eternal laws, they are termed as Sanatan Dharma. See, it is not a religion, Sanatan Dharma. Okay. Sanatan means eternal, Dharma means law. So the laws of the eternal. Okay. Now, according to this laws, if you, and these laws are not about only about the physical planes of existence. There's a non-physical planes of existence as well. Okay. Like we have a physical aspect and we have a non-physical aspect. Similarly, the existence also functions in like that. It has a physical aspect, it has a non-physical aspect. So it also, Sanatan Dharma also includes the non-physical aspects as well. Laws that abide, that the non-physical aspects also abide by. So that is Sanatan Dharma. Okay. Now we have understood what Sanatan Dharma is. Sanatan Dharma has three main features. You have to understand it. What is the first feature? That it is Shashwat. Shashwat means it is eternal. It was always there, it is there, and it will be there. It is Akshay, means it is unperishable. It can't be finished. You know that today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. It can't be finished. And the third thing, that is, it is Kalyankari, means everything that is compiled under those laws, it is for the welfare of everyone. Because previously when I told what is a law, law is a rule that you must abide by, so that it benefits everyone. It's not a win-lose situation, it is a win-win situation. It helps us to do our transactions with the least amount of friction. So it should be kalyankari. If it doesn't fall into these three features, then it is not Sanatan Dharma, or it is not the laws of the eternal. Okay. So you will say that you will hear many people, especially in India, they will say, Sanatan Dharma can't be destroyed, Sanatan Dharma can't be destroyed. Basically means that the laws of the eternal can't be destroyed. Means Even a gravitational law comes under Sanatan Dharma. Okay. Can you destroy the gravitational law of gravitation? No, you can't. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, whether you know that gravity exists or don't know gravity exists, it will still have effect on you. It will still affect your life, rule your life, whether you consciously know it or you unconsciously don't know it. Gravity doesn't care. So the laws of the eternal, whether you abide by it or don't abide by it, whether you know it or you don't know it, it will still affect your life. It will affect you. It will rule you in ways you can't imagine. Now let's come to Purusharth. Means now the Sanatan Dharma, okay, the laws of the eternal, other under the laws of the eternal, the mystic said that when we have studied the laws of the eternal, the Sanatan Dharma, we have also studied the law of human beings. Means what a human being should cross as milestones so that they know who they are. It's like milestones for spiritual realization. Now, when I talk about spiritual realization, what is spirituality? I told the study of the self to know who you are actually. Okay, that is spirituality. So the mystic said that if you want to know who you are, you have to cross these four milestones. If you cross these four milestones, you will know who you are. Okay, and those milestones to know who you are called as Purusharth. Now, what is Purusharth? Let's come to the term Purush first. Okay. So Purush comes from the term Pur. Now, what is Pur? Pur means a city. Okay. You have heard about Tripura, small state, city, small state in India. You have also heard about Gauripur. It's the town where I come from. You have heard about Raipur, Dimapur, Lakhimpur, Sitapur, Rampur, Dispur, Raipur. So Pur means a city. Okay. Now from Purusha, what does Purusha means? Purusha means the one who lives in the city. Clear? So if where I live now currently in Nottingham, so we can call Nottingham Pur, Nottingham city. Okay. So Pur, and the one who lives in that city is Purusha. So the same can be applied to this body also. Okay. If you have the necessary awareness and experience and the discretion to realize that you are different from this body, and that can only happen through sadhana tools. You have to apply tools to experientially know that you're different from your body and mind. Once you realize that, then you can call you as Purusha. Purush doesn't mean male or female. Okay, male female business, Purush. No. Purusha means the one who lives in the city. So if we call this body as a city, because you're living here, it's your home, it's your city. In that context, you can call yourself a Purusha. But if you don't have any realization that you are different from your body and mind, you can't call yourself as Purush. Even for man, even for woman. Now, in also, if a woman is just related to the body, no, it's not something related to who you are. The body is of the woman. Now if the one in the woman's body also realize that I am different from the body, from the woman's body, then that woman can also call herself as a Purush, because the life that you are is neither male or female. It's just the body that is male or female. You as a life has no sex, no biological classification. It's only of the bodies. So if you can realize that, you are also a Purush. In that context, I'm saying Purush. Okay, I'm not saying Purush in context of male and female. So yeah, we have cleared that thing. Now the mystics say the Purusha means the life you are, not talking as a person, as a human being. Okay, so the life that you are, to know what this life is, what you are, to know that experientially, to realize it experientially, you have to cover 4 milestones in in this journey of life, and that is known as Purusharth. Purusharth means the meaning through which the Purusha realizes who he is. Okay, so that is Purusharth. Now there are 4 objectives or 4 milestones that you have to complete. The first milestone that comes, that you must first achieve, is known as Dharma. Now what is Dharma? Dharma means law. I told you Dharma means law. Now the mystics are saying that if you want to know who you really are, first thing is to is to have clarity. First, gain clarity. Know the rules of the game before you jump into action. They are just saying that. Is means you must know the dharma. What is this dharma that they are the mystics are talking about? Means first, to know you truly are, first you have to know the dharma of your body, the laws of the body, that your body functions, the law of the food, the law of the mind, the law of the emotions, the law of the energies, the law of the surroundings, the law of the relationships, the law of the society, the laws of the place or the country that you are living in, and the laws of the time that you are existing, and the laws of the planet and the existence. If you can, you should know, or try to know as much as the laws of each and every aspect of life that you can. Okay, which includes your body, emotions, how you operate and everything. And then taking all those laws into consideration, craft your own law, your own dharma. Okay, listen to it carefully. By knowing all the laws into consideration, taking all the laws that you have understood, all the dharmas into consideration, craft your individualized, personalized dharma, which is in maximum tune or resonance with all the laws that you have known. Did you get it? Means first objective is dharma. Dharma means first you have to study, know all the laws that pertain to you, which may affect you as a life. Okay, suppose you don't know how your body functions, you don't know the laws of the body. Okay, and something that there is something which will harm the body, and if you do that, it will have consequence on you, no? So there are certain laws that the body abides by, there are certain laws that the mind abides by, there are certain laws that the emotions abide by, there's certain laws that your relationships abide by. If you break those laws, your relationship will get doomed. That's where we will come to the law, to the attachment styles and everything. Okay, because you must know the laws, you must know the laws of the country that you are living in, otherwise you will get into trouble. You should know the laws of the society that you're living by, and also the laws of the time that you're living in. You should also know the laws of the planet. How does the planet operate? If you suppose, if you know all these laws, and then you craft your own law, personalized law, which is a particular set of action that you abide by so as to be harmonious or be resonance with all the other laws that are present around you. And that specialized crafted law is your Swadharma, laws of the self. Okay, and that Swadharma, the law of yourself, will be different to someone else's Swadharma. Okay, that's why your personalized crafted law, which will have you to have the most harmonious transactions, which everything with everything around you, which includes your body also. I am also considering the body as other than you. Okay, in case if you are assuming body as yourself, we will have it somewhere else discussion. But I am presiding this foundation that you are not your body and you are not your mind. Okay. So the least amount of friction you can have, that is your Swadharma. Now, someone else who may have a different, live in a different society, okay, may have a little bit different Swadharma than you, and is actually completely fine. Okay. So that is dharma, means get your facts straight. Know the rules of the game before you jump. Now, once knowing all the laws, you have crafted your own personalized law. Yes or no? You have crafted your own Swadharma and you have decided this is the rule that I will abide by, because it helps me to get in harmony with all the forces in the existence, with all the aspects of the society, with all the aspects of the mind, body, energy, emotions. You have crafted your course of action, the rules that you will live by. That is your Swadharma. So you have tick mark the first milestone to know who you are. You know, you have ticked off the first Purusharth, that is Dharma. You have understood the laws, you have crafted your own law. Now you can start the journey, you know, because before moving out on a path, it is very important to know the direction that you will be moving in. Because no matter if you take 100 steps, but the direction is wrong, what's the use? It is much more damaging. Okay, so dharma basically say, before you make a journey, the milestone of dharma basically says that first fix your direction. Know that where you are going is actually the direction you want to go. Okay, fix your direction first. Know the rules first, and craft your own personalized rule or law that will help you to get through the frictions with least amount of baggage, which will help you to know who you are, or may realize who you are. That is done. Now, to make that journey, okay, you need resources. Yes or no? What are resources? Resources means, if you want to make a journey, means you want to get from point A to point B. Okay. But to get from point A to point B, you need certain things which will assist you to get from point A to point B. Those certain things may be your intelligence, uh, maybe your energy, maybe your, uh, I would say, vehicle. So all these come under resources. Okay. Resources. So those resources means you have to gather all the resources so that you can make that particular journey where you want to go, according to the dharma that you have crafted for yourself. And that accumulation of resources to make from your journey from point A to point B, where you want to go, is known as Artha. Okay. So Artha doesn't mean only money or wealth. Artha means you should have sufficient amount of resources so that you can make the journey. Otherwise, you can't complete. No, you can't know who you are. You can't reach to your destination as a life. For the Purusha, I am saying, not for the person. For the Purusha as a life means you as a life. To take that journey so that you know yourself, you need to gather all the resources that will help you to know yourself. It may be the spiritual tools, it may be spiritual technologies, it may be a GPS, which is a guru, by the way. Guru is a live GPS, which tells you the exact way to know who you are. Okay. And you may need wealth also to do the things, because you have to take care of body and everything, the society around you. You need to fulfill your duties as a person. So you need wealth as a. So accumulation of all those kind of resources comes under the objective or the milestone of Artha. Now, if you have got all the resources, means you have ticked off Artha also. Now, what the third thing comes? The third objective that comes, you should have the desire, you should have the passion to go through the journey. You should have enough passion and enough intrinsic motivation to bear through the journey and finally achieve your destination. And that is known as kama. That object milestone comes as karma. It's like, now people, there are many people you will see that they have the resources, they know what to do, but they lack, passion. They say they need to hear some motivational videos. You can do it. You are top of the world. You know, they need this kind of thing to push start machines. After the next day, they are same again. So karma comes under that. The desire means you should have that burning desire to know who you are. Otherwise, the resources, you can't actively use the resources. Suppose I'll need to write a blog post. Okay. I have the internet. I have the laptop, it's in full charge. I have all the resources, but I don't have the motivation. I don't have the burning desire. I will still not do it. I will feel lazy about it. I will still not do it. In even that I know I have to do that. I have all the resources, but I don't have the burning desire. So I can't do it. I won't do it. So that is the thing, that if you want to know who you are, if the Purusha wants to know who he is, then he should also have that intensity of the desire that he wants to know. Because without the Purusha's desire, realization will not dawn upon him. You know, realization can only happen, or the Purusha can only know who he is if he is 100% willing. And when I call, when I use the term Purusha, I am again explaining that Purusha means not male. Purusha means someone who lives in the city. Means if you are realizing that you also live in this body, you as a life is called Purusha. That may be man, woman, child, you know. So that. So now you have crafted, your Swadharma. What is your appropriate course of action that you need to do to complete the journey? You have the resources to do the journey, and you have the intense passion to make the journey. Now you start the journey. When these three things are combined together, then you achieve to the last milestone, that is moksha. Moksha means liberation, nirvana, enlightenment, all these terms. But moksha basically means you have realized, the Purusha has realized who he is. Remember, I told the term spirituality means the study of the self. Who this self is, you have realized, and that is moksha. Moksha means doesn't mean that after dying you go to heaven. Okay. Enlightenment or moksha basically means you have realized who you are. Then you have attained moksha, enlightenment. Okay. So these are the four milestones that Purusha goes through his life: Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. Dharma means getting your laws, you know the laws of the game. With considering all the laws that you have learned, you craft your own personalized law so as to be harmonious to all the laws around you, so that you can make this journey with the least possible fictitious way. Then, after you know the direction, know the laws, know the course of actions, now you have to gather resources for the journey. The resources can be intellectual, emotional, uh, physical, energetical, wealth. All this comes under resources. Guidance is also a resource. So you accumulate all the resources. And the third thing, you should have a burning desire to go through that journey, process of that journey. Because if you don't have that intense desire, you will fall off. Okay. So dharma, artha, kam. When you when you complete all this milestone and you do it, you have all the boxes tick, ultimately you will ultimately come to the fourth milestone, which is moksha. Means you have realized who you are and your journey is complete. Ta-da! See, so easy. Four milestones of Purusharth means four milestones through which you, as a life, will know who you are. It's like the roadmap of spiritual realization or spiritual awakening, I would say. The mystics found out. See? gave this model. Okay. Now let's classify these mystics. Like I told you that prime minister and president are different. You can't say president as a prime minister or prime minister as a president. Maybe in certain situations, a prime minister can also become a president, or a president may also become a prime minister. I haven't known of such cases, but may happen. So the same person, you can call him as a president also, or prime minister also. When you are acknowledging him as a president, you are acknowledging him in a different way when you're acknowledging him as a prime minister. Similarly, the mystics can be classified into two things. Okay, that mystic can be classified as either as a rishi or a muni. Now rishis and munis are different altogether. Now who is a rishi? Rishi means a sage. Now who's a sage? Rishi means those mystics who have researched and explored and found certain aspects of the universe and journaled it out. Maybe that mystic has known or researched on a certain aspect of life or a certain aspect of death. Okay. Or certain aspects of the universe which will help to live a life of abundance, may help you to live a life of power, may help you live a life of beauty. So there are different aspects to the life as well. Life has so many dimensions. So a mystic who has researched and found out with certain laws of the universe, that you can use it and use it to enhance your life, that mystic, we call him a rishi. Okay. Suppose a mystic can explore on the movements of the planets, of the stars, and came out with astrology or astronomy. Okay. Which are basically how the you know movement of the planets affect us as a life. Because let's be honest, guys, we are an outcrop of the planet. Okay, we are just extensions of the planet, and whatever happens to the planet also happens to us in a certain way, and whatever happens to the solar system will also affect the planet of earth, which we are an outcrop of. So the mystics identified that how the movement of the planets may have an effect on our body, on our minds, or our emotions, and on our energies, and came out with Jyotish. Okay, Jyotish means comes from Jyoti and Ish, means the Vidya means the knowledge which shows us the way, which lights our way. Jyotish comes from Jyoti. Jyoti means light, means the knowledge through which throws light ahead in the future, so that we can have some clarity about the future of how life is going to unfold. That knowledge comes under Jyotish or astrology or astronomy. So those mystics who found this uh, system are will be termed as rishis. So rishis are just an explorer, a researcher who has found a particular discovery, or crafted a particular knowledge system through which we can harness the laws of the existence, the Sanatan Dharma, and which will help us not only to enhance our life, but also to have a grasp over the other aspects of life which we don't know about. So that is a rishi. Now what is a muni? Muni basically means a seer. Okay, what is a seer? Seer basically means someone who can see. See means to see things as it is. That is a seer, that is a muni. Okay, and the munis, when they come into a certain level of competence through their spiritual enhancement of faculties, their spiritual faculties, they can see the world, or they can see themselves or the others as they are. When I say as they are, what does as they are means? See, now whatever you are experiencing around you is Maya. Maya doesn't mean an illusion. Maya means a subjective reality. What is a subjective reality? that you are experiencing the world as your sense organs interpret the information and the stimuli it takes around from itself. Okay. So you are just experiencing the world what the sense organ takes the information from around you. You are not experiencing the world as it is. You are just experiencing the world through your sense organs. Since sense organs are subjective, so your perception of the world is also subjective. And the reality you create is also subjective. So that subjective reality, we call it as Maya. Maya doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Maya means that it exists, but you don't experience it as the way it is. You're experiencing it differently, as how your sense organ permitted. For example, if I say what is the perception for you a day would be, maybe the completely opposite of the perception of the day for an owl. An owl may consider the night as its day, and you may consider the the day as a night. Why? Because of the visual apparatus that we have of the eyes. Okay. So how are we are perceiving night may be different in perception for a tiger who is roaming in the jungle, or for an insect. Yes or no? So we are not experiencing our environment as it is. We are only experiencing it in relation to how our self sense organs interpret it. But a Muni is someone who is seeing the world it is not through the sense organs, but through the other faculties that we have as non physical entities. Through that, the Muni can see through the veil of Maya, through the veil of the subjective reality, through the bubble of subjective reality that the sense organs have created, and can really see as life as it is without subjective. It's an objective viewpoint of life. That is known as a Muni. Now, all the Munis that you may have heard in the Indian plethora, Indian mystics plethora, will give a darshan. Now, what is a darshan? Darshan doesn't mean philosophy. Darshan means the the picture, the visualize, the picture that you see when you are not seeing through your sense organs. When I say Muni is a drashta, means he's a seer, means he can see the things as they are. So if you click a picture of how he is seeing the world, that picture is known as the darshan. Okay. And there are many darshans. There is Sankhya darshan, there is, you know, I only know about the Sankhya darshan. Are many darshans that are not coming into the mind. Okay. So there are many darshans that the Munis have given. Means a picture of how the objective reality of life looks like, of how the objective reality of the universe looks like. They have taken snapshots and they have propagated it as darshans. Okay. So the most example of a sage and a seer I can take is the most famous sage and seer, which is of Devarshi Narad. So if you have if you have been through the Indian storyline or the cultural stories that forms the culture of India, in many times you have heard about this great sage and seer Narada. Why Narada is also called as Devarshi or Dev Muni or Muni? It simply suggests that Narada, as a mystic, has not only did research to come out with a particular knowledge system which will enhance the exploration of human beings as a life, but also he has, through his competence, he has taken a certain snapshot of the objective reality of the existence and gave a darshan. So when we call Narada as a rishi, we are acknowledging the researcher aspect of it. And when we are acknowledging Narada as a Muni, we are just saying that Narada is an objective photographer who has taken an objective snapshot of how the universe actually is and put that snapshot in the form of a darshan in the scriptures. So that is what a rishi and a muni is. I hope you understood this context. Now, what is a sadhu? Sadhu basically means the one who has flowered, who has completed the journey, who has completed all the milestones of life, the four objectives I told of a Purusha, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. He has attained to a very pleasant state. He knows who he is and he can bless people. That is what a sadhu is. Okay. So don't compare a rishi to a muni to a sadhu. These are completely different terms. Okay. So when you are acknowledging someone as a rishi, means you have to admit that he has done some doctorate or PhD study in the field of mysticism and came out with a new research. When you consider someone as a muni, means you acknowledge the fact, the truth, that he can perceive things, experience things out of what his sense organs are trying to interpret, means he can cut through the veil of his subjective reality of his senses and can have a clear snapshot of how the universe or the world or he or she looks like. Okay. And has offered the snapshot in the journal so that we can also use the snapshot to get a proper objective glimpse of life. That is a darshan. Okay. So there are, I think there is also a Nyaya darshan, there is Sankhya darshan, so many darshans. I have yet to read all the darshans. Okay. But I'm not trying to read it. Why? Because it's a interesting thing that if I experience it, the same thing, if I research it and it happens to me, that is a different level of, you know, achievement, sense of achievement. It's like you research it and you realize it by your own means than to go through a textbook science thing. It's not I'm condemning their researches are wonderful, their offerings to humankind, to the field of mysticism are wonderful, but if they have explored it, I want to explore it by my own way, by my own tools. I have these devices, I have tools, I am still exploring it, and some of the offerings or the conclusions that they have written in the journals, in the scriptures, in the shastras, is coming true. And that's what reinforces me to explore more and more in the field of mysticism. I look up to them. They are my role models, inspirations. The rishis. Various rishis have given various theories, various proponents, various researches, various devices, various tools to explore different aspects of life and different aspects of you as well, you know because you also come under life. No, if the cosmos is the grand life, you are also a part of the cosmos. But spirituality only deals with the study of yourself. So if the mystic has invented a device or created a knowledge system, that device can also be used to explore who you are, or can also be used to explore the surroundings that you are present in. Okay. So when you explore, you take that device and use it to explore you, we call that tool a spiritual tool. But when we use it to explore other facets of the existence other than you, then we call it a mystical tool. Got it? Okay. Same happens with every process. If that process that the mystic has invented or discovered helps you to know who you are, then that same process will be called as a spiritual process. But if that process is used to know certain aspects of the universe in all of its dimensions, whether it be the physical or the non physical, we will call it a mystical process. See, so easy. So that is the difference between Rishi, Muni, Sadhu. Okay. Now we have come to these terms clear. We have known what is Sanatan Dharma. We have also known what is Dharma. We have known what is Swadharma. We have known what is Artha. We have known what is Kama. We have known what is Moksha. We have known what is mysticism, what is spirituality, what are sages, seers, saints, sadhus. Okay. So there is a difference in the guru. Now, since there's a difference in the achievement in the mysticism field, it is also very important that who you choose as your guru. Is it a sadhu who only knows, who has realized who he or she is, but he may not have the knowledge of other aspects of the universe? He may not have knowledge about the tools and the technologies of mysticism. You choose him as your guru, or your guru is a muni, means a seer who has an objective snapshot of the existence, or he or she may not have the tools and technologies related to mysticism, or you may, a rishi may be your guru who is just a PhD in some aspect of life, but he doesn't have the holistic view of life. He doesn't have the objective snapshot of life. Okay. So be very clear that the one who you are opting for as a guru, is he a sage, a seer, or just a saint, or he is everything? Means not only has he researched about a particular aspect of life, through his competence and perception, he has also seen an objective aspect of life. He has also has the objective viewpoint of life. He has taken snapshots. He can see the things as they are, and he has also known who he is. Where will you get such an holistic guru? There are many few gurus. That's why a particular guru may have a different viewpoint, may say that this is out of, this is good, this is bad, this should not happen. With certain other gurus, they have different way, because it's only how big your perspective is. With that bigger perspective, you choose your dharma, you create your own swadharma. So if you have known life only till here, you will only work around this boundary. The more your perception level increases, the more holistic grasp you get. So it also depends then who you choose as a guru. And now, those who already have a guru, try to evaluate yourself, that guru that he is he comes under the category of a rishi, a sage, an explorer, a PhD holder, whether he comes under the category of a muni, means a objective photographer who has seen life as it is beyond the subjective reality of maya, or he is just a sadhu who just know who he is. He doesn't know anything else. He has no idea about how the objective realities are. He doesn't know about what are the different aspects in the existence. He only knows this piece of life. Or he doesn't fall into any of these achievements. Now, please gauge yourself and see who your guru is. Because if you choose a map which only shows the map of your city, and you want to make a journey to a different continent, then that map is incompetent to take you into that journey. Guru is just a map, living GPS. Suppose your Google map only shows the map of the city you live in, and you want to travel to, suppose, another country. Will you use that map? You make a decision. So you should always choose a map which is the world map, or I would say choose a map which is the intergalactic map or the cosmic map. so that you can travel to each and every place and you have a holistic view of where you are going and how the things will be. In similar aspect, you should always choose a guru who is a Mahasiddha Guru or a mystic who has different achievements. Means he is also a rishi, he is also a muni, he is also a sadhu. He is all every achievement he has done. Only that person can give you a holistic map to know who you are. In addition to knowing who you are, he can also give you guidance and make a roadmap for you if you want to explore different aspects of life rather than knowing yourself. Okay, it's just like that. You finish the knowing yourself is like the main mission of the game of life, and knowing the other aspects of life are like side quests, side missions. It doesn't directly affect your main mission, but doing the side missions help you to finish the main mission with much more ease and with much more clarity. Similarly, spirituality is the main mission as a human life, but mysticism, different aspects of life, exploring different facets of life, mysticism gives you an, I would say, edge over all the other people who are just going through spirituality. Ta-ta-da, ta-da-ta-da. So I will leave this decision to you, that which GPS you want to follow. A GPS which only knows your city, knows your country, knows your planet, the world, or knows your galaxy, knows your cosmos, or knows the entire universe, or knows multiple universes, I would say, or knows the existence. So for me, I would choose a GPS which is an existential GPS, not an universal GPS, not a galactic GPS, not a solar system GPS, not a planetary GPS, not a country GPS, not a city GPS. I will choose a existential GPS. Okay, so that is the level of guru. Okay, so you should, for my, I will always choose a guru which is a holistic, which shows an holistic picture of everything. Okay, no, I'm not demeaning other gurus. They are wonderful, but it's just where I want to go. I don't want to limit myself to a confined space and a confined viewpoint and a narrow viewpoint. That's why you would see certain people that my actions seem to be aligned to what the stereotypical dharma is. You may experience it, but sometimes I will do certain things which are out of the box. Why? Because your perception is limited. You have this small box, but I don't confine myself to a small box. My area is the existence itself. Okay, because I'm a student of mysticism, I'm a student of siddhashram, I'm a student of the siddhas. I i st- i study the siddha dharma, the laws of the mystics. So I'm an encompassing. It's like a very big box, and you are just a part of the big box. So my actions, my intentions will, you won't understand it because your perception is small. Same with any mistake. That's why it will feel that what they are doing is not in accordance to the societal laws, because they don't care about the societal laws. They don't care about the societal laws. They are the ones who are behind the structuring of the societal laws, and it is their function to aware the people in the society, that when the societal laws are deviating enough to become a clash with the cosmic or the existential laws, and if it becomes a clash with the existential laws, means how you live and transact in the society is not conducive to the laws that are in the existence, you will suffer immensely, and that suffering will come in so many ways that you can't imagine. You will just suffer without any reason. Just sitting in your bed, you will suffer. All these mental health issues that are coming, depression, anxiety, all these are just means a notification bell. The suffering is just a notification bell that your Swadharma is not aligned with the Sanatan Dharma, the laws of the eternal. That is the meaning, that is basically the conclusion of your suffering. Whenever you suffer, you must always remember that the course of action that you are opting for, okay, in some way is not aligned with the laws of the eternal or the laws of the existence. And when I say the laws of the existence, I just don't I'm not speaking about the physical laws. I'm also talking about the non-physical aspects of the universe as well. Okay, so that is the meaning of suffering. That's why it is. That's why it is always said that if you follow your dharma, that is not the right path. That means the appropriate path, which is harmonious to every other law that is there present, which affects you as a life. If you follow your dharma, it will lead to your well-being. And if you don't follow your dharma, or you go against your dharma, or you do adharma, then it will make you suffer. That is just the simple meaning. Okay, now you have got it. I have just shredded off the religious belief system aspect of it, because this I would say is a disability, or this is like a chain that holds you. This is a stereotype that you have come. So I hope that stereotype is gone. If you didn't understand, listen to this podcast again so that you can again understand. And if you have any questions, any doubts, it's like the loopholes that I have missed, you know, the aspects, the as pixels of the pictures that I have not, you know, visioned or jotted it down. You can tell me in the comments, okay, below, so that I can, you know, give a more in-depth discussion or exploration on that topic. Okay, so that is what Rishi, Muni, Sadhu, Sanatan Dharma, Purusharth, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, all those stuff is. Now you decide. So since I told that this podcast should not only be a chit chat session, it should be a aid, a catalyst to make you transcend. Now you today what I want you to do is sit down and have a thorough analysis or observance, and see if you can use the model or the milestones of dharma, artha, kam, and moksha to jot down. First thing is to jot down what your swadharma is. What is the appropriate of course of action of you as a life, of you as a purusha is? And how will you make it possible? First, try to know. You have to know first, to know your swadharma. You have to know the dharma of your body, of your mind, of your emotions, of your energies, of relationships, of the country that you live in. So see, it's not just a one day task. It's a it's a it may take years to know all the laws and to come up with your swadharma, and it takes time. It's an evolving process. Okay, now just see, then isn't this getting this basics clear, knowing your appropriate course of actions, knowing your swadharma, isn't it very essential before you do or perform any action? Isn't it the most important thing, because that is the most first milestone that you as a life should tick mark. I'm not blaming you guys, I'm just saying that your education systems have not offered it to you, have not taught it to you, because they didn't know it either. But it was there in the, especially in the Indian culture, it was there that first know your basics right, get a direction, accumulate all the resources for the journey, and then cultivate an intense passion and desire to go through that journey, and then you will know who you are. And that once you know who you are means you have completed the basic fundamental aspect of the game. Now you can fool around in life. Stress, anxiety, depression, all will evaporate. Where's the time in that? It will come, but you, once you will know the laws of your mind, you will also know how to cure it. Yes, because see, all the medicines, that all the treatments and all the cures that had happened in the scientific and medical field. First is research. What is research? Is basically to know the dharma of the disease, or of this, of that particular thing that is happening, or that virus or that parasite that is doing the thing. Then after knowing the dharma of the parasite, or the one who is causing the disease, they know, they also know the dharma of the body or the immune system that is combating the disease. Then they also know, try to know the dharma of the substance that will, you know, kill that source which is causing the disease. And they also take into account the dharma, what is the dharma of that cure in relation to the immune system. Suppose there is certain thing, suppose I take, suppose, just for a sake, that if I give you nitrogen capsules, okay, there is certain parasite which is causing you, making you sick. I know that nitrogen dharma can kill the parasite, okay, because nitrogen is such a mate, and the parasite's dharma is of life is not according to the dharma of the nitrogen, of how nitrogen reacts or transacts. So it will kill the parasite. But I will also need to consider the relationship of the dharma of the nitrogen capsule with the dharma of the immune system, that how will the immune system react or respond to the nitrogen tablet being in the system. Until and unless I know all the dharmas, then I will create a particular cure which will also kill the parasite, and which will, the immune system will also accept it, and it will not cause a disturbance in the immune system. Then I come with a cure. So in your life also, you need to know the basic slide and come up with your own swadharma, which will help you to get the most out of life. But many people are not competent enough to find their swadharma. That's why they choose a guru who is an expert in that field, and go to that guru and offer themselves up. And the guru has an holistic perspective. Now, since when I am saying a guru, I'm considering the guru to be a mystic, and to be a siddha guru, to be a mystical guru, comes under the who has done mysticism, who has is a student of mysticism, who has also is a rishi and also a muni and also a sadhu, means he has explored certain dimensions of life, means he is well versed with all the tools and gadgets and technologies in this realm of mysticism. He is also well, he also has an objective viewpoint of how life unfolds, of how the creation is made, and he has also realized who he is. I'm considering that person to be a guru. Rest I don't consider to be a guru at all. Okay, for me, you may have different viewpoints, that depends on you. So you go to that guru, and that guru sees you and makes an analysis of how, what is the dharma of your body, what is the dharma of your mind, your emotions, your energies, how they are responding, how have you been brought up in a culture, what is your cultural background, what is your viewpoints against life, what is your karmic structure. That is the non-physical aspect, it comes the karmic structure. Gurus, the mystics, have the, because they are munis, they are seers, they also have that aspect of perception to know how your karmic structure is. That's why, there are certain mystics who can tell you past, present, future. They are known as trikala jnanis, means they are knowers of past, present, future. How? Because they have an objective picture of how the existence is, not the superficial things that are happening. Through that objective picture, they can say exactly what is going to happen. So, like that. Those who have given, prophecies or predictions, like that. But we will come to some other day, like what are prophecies, predictions, how are made. So, like that. So, when you come in front of him, he will know your past, present, future in a way, in a karmic way. He knows where you come from, where you are going, heading right now, and what are the things that you must do so that you flower completely as a life. You go to that guru, you offer yourself, and the guru will say certain things that do this, do this, do this. And it may be very simple things, and it may have no relation with, you can't get your head straight, like how is this connected to, what, where I am wanting to go, or what I am wanting to achieve. But I told you, he has an objective picture of the reality. You may not have clarity, you may not see things as they are, but he's seeing through the veil of subjective reality. So he knows the relationship of things, how it's like butterfly effect. There is a relation, but you don't know it. So he has knowledge about it, and he will say simple things which are utterly simple and mundane. And if you do that with complete surrender and faith, it will work for you tremendously, and it has worked for many people. You may just cross all the milestones and come to the last milestone also, of moksha, of knowing who you are, of realization, of spiritual awakening. Just maybe, just if a guru says, just sweep the floor. And you will say, oh master, I have come here to know who I am. I have come here to know the most significant aspect of my life's journey, and you're telling me to sweep the floor? How can you do that? No. When you go to a guru, and when you have known, that's why it is very important that before surrendering yourself or choosing someone as your guru, you must test your guru, that is he eligible enough to be my guru. You must test 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. But once you have chose, have finalized that this is my guru, that this is it. But yes, once you have realized that I have taken everything that I could from this person or this being, and I want to grow somewhere more, and it doesn't have that right. Suppose it's like I wanted to explore Nottingham, where I am, and I chose a map which shows each and every part of Nottingham. So I will take that map, and I have explored each and every bit of Nottingham. Now, if I want to go ahead in my journey, then it's absolutely okay that if you leave that map and opt for another map which is a larger picture, which shows a larger map. That's completely okay. That's not unethical, because the first priority you should have is to know who you are. That is the topmost priority. Nothing else is the priority. That is the topmost priority you should have, knowing who you are. That is what spiritual process is, spiritual path is. So choose your guru according to that. Okay. But after you have chosen the guru, then you completely surrender, because it's like first you do the reasoning, thinking, calculating, analyzing, and then you do the execution. There's a two parts. One is the uh, one is the planning part, one is the executing part. So do the planning first, take the check that if your guru, you think that it is eligible, he or she is eligible. And not he or she eligible doesn't mean that you confirm with the viewpoints of your guru. That doesn't mean it. It means that no matter what his personality is does he have the competence to take me through the journey of knowing who I am. Maybe he is talking shit about you. Maybe he's scolding you. Maybe he's banging you, means hitting you in the head. But still, if he has the competence, you choose that guru. Why? Because you have decided that what is your topmost priority is. Means know who you are. If that is the topmost priority, these things shouldn't matter. Because his work is also to make the journey possible in the least amount of friction, in least amount of time, in the most effective way. That is the work of a guru. Okay. So these are the aspects that you choose. I hope these aspects are clear to you, because now when I say that this rishi, this muni, sadhu, guru, purusharth, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, what is Sanatan Dharma, this Swadharma, this thing should be absolutely crystal clear to you. Only then I can take you further. I can discuss certain terms that you can understand, because if these basics are not clear, then you will again bumble up. So listen to this again and again to get your facts, truths checked. Okay. And also, you may ask any questions that you may have, and I can create another topic of more in-depth discussion about it. Okay. So lot of information that we have discussed today, and that's the thing with life is endless, the explorations are endless. I can also talk about cartoons, anime shows, that we may talk about that how it can also help you transcend. For me to say, each and everything that I did, whether it's eating, cooking, sweeping, watching cartoons, playing video games, doing my spiritual practices, or doing the practices as such, mystical practices, everything helped me transcend. I can't say a single thing that didn't help me transcend, because I didn't classify something as spiritual or not spiritual, because everything is spiritual if you have the intelligence enough to use it to know who you are. If you can use this mobile to know who you are, this using of mobile is also a spiritual process. But if you are using this mobile to get away from knowing who you are, that it is against the spiritual process. Similarly, if you are using meditation to know who you are, then meditation is a spiritual process. But if you are using meditation to bypass as an escape from confronting your inner demons, from confronting the reality of the situation, from confronting the reality of who you are and where you are at, then that meditation is not working as a spiritual process. That meditation is working as a coping mechanism. See, I'm not letting you guys, having foggy, blurry lines about these conceptions or these terms again, because be very clear that when you are getting into certain things, it's very important. My swadharma is that I first get my laws right. I get the information of all the laws that are influencing me as a life, so that I have a complete grasp of what the objective picture of life is. Then I jump into action. Anything and anything I do, first I get my basics straight, because otherwise I don't want to make a journey where ultimately I will reach somewhere else where I don't want to reach. So get the basics right. Okay. So thank you for listening to this podcast. If again I am saying, if you have any questions, please let me know. I would be eager to answer your questions, because like I was like you sometime back, buzzing and doing everything. So I think today we should end the podcast here. And for next week, I don't know what I will speak, what I will discuss, what I will expound on. Maybe we will finally come into the realm of occult and mysticism. You know, that's when things start getting interesting. The Hogwarts, the ghosts, the fairies, the gods, and the goddesses will all come. Okay, so maybe you are interested the magic, the black magic, the witchcraft, the voodoo. I will also expound on that. I will also expound on what is the behind mechanics of a boon or a curse. The Voldemort abracadabra curse that he. What is the basics of the curse? What is the basics of curse? What is the basics of giving a boon or a blessing? What are the mechanics of it, so that you know what you are getting into. Okay, it should not you should not fear these things, or you should not discard it. You just get the things clear, so you will be more aware of that. Okay, so thank you for listening to this podcast. See you next week, and namaskaram. Thanks for tuning in to Transcend with Shubham. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some valuable insights. If you want to learn more about spirituality, mysticism, and mental well being, be sure to check out my website, transcendsutras108.com, for online coaching sessions and weekly blog posts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to reach out to me on social media. Until next time, keep transcending.